What is up, everyone? It is your least favorite barista on the internet, Mitch. And today we are playing with the Cafec, I think I pronounced that right, coffee filter papers. Now, these are a Japanese-made, biodegradable, compostable, chemical-free, blah, blah, blah. Least important part in my opinion, I'm sorry. Smash me in the comments, that's fine. Now, the reason I'm using these today, and I've got 3 different filters up, is they're actually bean roast specific. So we've got the T83, which the number on there represents the brew temperature in degrees Celsius, of course. And that is for the dark roast beans, which is a 0.22 millimeter thick filter. And it is designed to enhance the body and the sweetness of the beans. Which makes sense because a darker bean, generally that's what you're going to aim for. And I've paired that with a dark roasted Colombian bean. What's the darkest I've got? It's pretty close to a dark bean, so maybe we'll keep that in mind. Then we've got the T90, again, that's 90 degrees Celsius. This is for your medium roast, which is a 0.28 millimeter paper, and that is designed for a well-balanced and enhancing sort of those obvious flavors, which is kind of what you'll normally get from a medium roast coffee. Generally, they're quite obvious flavors like your chocolates or your, you know what I'm saying. And we've paired that with a Brazil yellow bourbon, which is quite good. I have had that plenty of times, so it's going to be interesting to see how it comes through a different filter paper compared to your typical Hario filter paper, which is a bleached filter. So that's going to be cool. And then I've got the T92, so 92 degrees Celsius. This is obviously your light roast, and that is a 0.15 millimeter paper filter, so very thin. And this is designed for an enhanced aroma and a very clean cup, which makes a lot of sense because generally if you're going to a light roast, or for myself, I'm using like a Geisha or a very high quality bean. And this in this case, we're actually using an Ethiopian Geisha. So that's going to be 3 fairly expensive little cups of coffee there. And 2 of them should be bad because what I'm going to do is rather than just run 3 coffees through each filter paper for what they're designed for, I'm going to run 1, what it's designed for, and 2, using the other beans. So, perfect example, using dark roasted paper filter, I'm going to run obviously the dark roast, a medium, and then the light. And I'm going to document in a little spreadsheet I've got in the laptop because spreadsheets are life. And then we're going to see if the paper filters are matched perfectly to the bean they've recommended. So it's a little bit of a test to Cafec, not necessarily myself or the beans, because I'm going to run the same, other than the temperature, I'm going to run the same recipe, so the same pouring technique, same bloom, etc. So I'm going to aim a recipe that I would normally do for a medium roast, just to kind of keep it fair. I think that's probably the best way to do it, and then just see what's enhanced where, what tastes the best, etc. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Hit the like button if you know what I'm talking about. See what I did there? All right, I'm gonna get stuck into it, tidy things up a little bit and start making some coffees. I've had 1 espresso today, so I am stinging for a coffee. Let's get into it. So I've got the Colombia, which is a dark roast bean, in with the dark roasted filter, and the kettle is set at 83 degrees Celsius, which is everything by their recommendation. So this should be a good coffee. Keep in mind, I'm not going to film myself pouring 9 coffees. It's just unnecessary. But I will film this one, probably speed it up because you'll know what a pour over looks like. And like I said, same recipe for all of them other than temperature. Let's go. 50 gram bloom for 30 seconds. That's my standard pour over recipe. This is a 16:1 ratio, so 15 grams in, 240 grams out. That's my standard recipe. And we've got a 120 gram pour, or up to 120 gram. Wait till about a minute, it should be pretty well spot on. And then we do our second and final pour. And finish at 240 grams, give or take a gram, it's okay. And we're aiming for about a 2.5 to 3 minute pour in total. So we'll see how that goes with this paper filter. All right, so total time is pretty well bang on 2 minutes 45. Still got a couple of little drops in there, but it's exactly what I was aiming for, so I'm pretty happy. Now you may have noticed I'm not doing any agitation in the recipes, purely just to save on any discrepancies if I agitate slightly different. So that's not exactly the way I would normally make the coffees, but purely for science, we're gonna keep it safe and do it that way. So I'm gonna drink some of this, and I'm gonna use the same cup to make sure that I don't change flavors between them. I'm gonna get my cup, I'm gonna drink some coffee. Just so you guys know what I'm using, this is actually just a stemless wine glass. It's a good combination glass for all types of coffee. Keep that in mind if you're ever looking for something. They're very cheap, you can just get them from Woolies, they work fine. We're not gonna go down that road right now. So I've got my dark beans through the dark paper filters, and I'm gonna drink it. It's not bad. Definitely has plenty of body. Has kind of that thickness about it that you generally will get from a darker bean, which is good. Plenty of sweetness for a dark roast. Generally, I don't enjoy dark coffee, so but I'll be fair and say that that is a good coffee. So on my spreadsheet here, literally just going to tick the good and bad column as good. That's as simple as that. And then I'm going to score it. Let's give that. I'm trying to be fair. Like I said, I don't like dark coffees, but I'll give that an 85. Let's just start there. Gives us plenty of room to go either way later. I'm going to move on to the next coffee, and then I'll record the scoring. Okay, so this is the Brazil, which is a medium roast through the dark roasted filter, and it ran a very long brew time. It doesn't smell very good. That's interesting. So a 3 minute 15 brew time, and it tastes under extracted, so it actually tastes very weak, which is that's strange. Okay, so that's not good, which is a good answer. So that one's going down as a bad coffee, which is awesome. I'm going to give that like a 75 because it's not a good coffee. I would not sell that to someone. I'm going to skip through the next few ones, jot some stuff down in the spreadsheet because you guys don't need me to live score every cup when I'm going to show you at the end anyway. See you in a little bit. Now quickly, before I do make this coffee, this does hurt me, putting a very high quality bean through the incorrect filter. It's probably not going to taste good, and yes, this hurts. So this kind of sucks, but it's all what I have to do. All right, let's do it. Okay, I do actually want to film this one, just because if it is as good, I kind of want to catch that on camera, because it might not be. I'm actually expecting it not to be after that last experience, but let's see. So this is the light roasted bean through a dark roast filter paper. It's actually pretty good. Look, being a very high quality bean, it's got that on its side. I know it's still not at its peak. I can taste that it's missing a lot of those delicate flavors because it was a 3-minute brew, which is pretty good. I'm going to put it down as a good coffee. So you get a green tick, bad boy. And I'm going to give it, look, it is the best coffee so far, so I'm going to give it an 88. Because it is a good coffee. It's not perfect, but it's good. So let's give it room. I'm going to bang through the next few and then we'll come back at the end and I'll show you some scores, and I'll probably film the last one, which should be the perfect coffee. Now I want to film this one, which I'm assuming is going to be the worst coffee of them all. This is the dark coffee through the light filter. And going from what I've scored so far, this should be a pretty bad coffee. Not good. That's a 3-minute 15 brew. Oh, no, yeah, don't do that. So far, these filters are proving themselves right. So, good job, Cafec. Let's keep going. So this is the last coffee of the test. So this is the light coffee through the light filter paper. Look, this is going to be the best coffee of the day. I already know that. We're not trying to judge the beans. We're testing the filter papers. And so far, they are bang on. This has been surprisingly accurate with what they've kind of done. So this is not a sponsored video in any way. I purchased these full retail from the online store. I don't do sponsored videos yet. Hook us up if anyone's out there. I'm going to pour this last one and I'm going to enjoy this one because this will be a good coffee. Like I said, let's go. So while this brew is finishing off, like I said, this will be the best coffee of the day. This coffee through all of the filters has been very servable, but it is such a high quality bean that it's actually very hard to make it taste bad. Temperature varying, of course. I've brewed 92 degrees for each of these and it has been incredible. Could you improve each of the coffees I've made using the incorrect filter? Absolutely you could. That's not what we're testing today. We're testing whether the correctly matched filter to suit your bean makes a difference. And the results are very surprising, which I'm going to show you in a minute once I drink this coffee. So I am documenting times for all of these, and it's been extremely interesting how some of these filters react to the different temperatures. So hotter temperatures can extend brew time, but not always the case. So I'm actually learning a couple of new little things here as well at the same time. Excuse me. So this is our final coffee of the day. So this is the Ethiopian Geisha at 92 degrees through the appropriate filter. I know this is going to be good because I've been smelling it while I'm making it. Oh my lord. Yeah, so that's the winner. I'm going to finish up the little spreadsheet here with all the documents, and then I'm going to give you guys a close-up and sort of give you a run through the final results of this test. So the results of this test are finalized, and it has been very surprising that everything that these guys have tried to achieve, they have nailed. I'll run you through the results right now. I'm going to give you the old vlog style. And if you pay attention, you will notice that I've scored anything above an 80 as a good coffee, purely for the sake of the test. So the dark coffee through the dark filters at the correct temperature was the best coffee, with the goal time of 2:45 bang on. So anywhere between 2 minutes 30 and 3 minutes was my goal brew time. And that is bang on, and it was the best coffee out of those three, of course. The other two were undrinkable, unservable, not okay. Then we move across to the medium beans, and again, the medium filter, the appropriate filter at the correct temperature, was again the best coffee and pretty much bang on brew time.
and the other 2 were undrinkable. Then we move over to the Ethiopia, which of course, every one of them was a good coffee, but if you check the scores, I'm sorry, it's probably going to be a little bit blurry. GoPro doesn't do this too well. It definitely improved over using the correct filter. So 97, this is not like a perfect coffee score chart. This is purely for the test. So a 97 with the correct beans, like the brew time's pretty well bang on again. So these guys have done an amazing job here. They have just nailed it. So everything that they have done or tried to achieve, they have nailed. So well done to the guys at Cafec. And again, this is not a sponsored video. No one has paid me to do this. Can we just appreciate this little coffee cup right there? That's pretty cool. Yeah, boy. I don't know if you can see it without milk in it. So I'm impressed. Well done to the guys at Cafec. Please let me know if I've pronounced it incorrectly. And again, could we have improved on the brews? Absolutely, we could have. That's not what we're trying to test. We were trying to test whether these suit the coffee they say it suits. And yes, they do. So well done. And let me know what you think of this test. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to test, because I've really enjoyed doing this. I've actually learnt a few things today, not necessarily about this brand, but about coffee and how it can react. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Have a lovely day. Please like, subscribe, etc. That'd be amazing. And happy brewing.